We are back with the Screen Team. We've got a great show for you, especially if you're into horror films. And we've got our expert horror reviewer with us. We've got Guy McAndrew. And Guy, we're not only going to be talking about these horror movie reviews, but you're also working on a play with the stage company. We'll talk about that a little bit throughout the episode as well, okay? Right. But first up, if we're getting into horror, we're doing it, we're going in hardcore now with some Rob Zombie, and we're doing House of a Thousand Corpses. Is that right?
Yep.
This movie, it came out in the early 2000s, somewhere around there?
I think it was 2000, 2001, somewhere around there.
I remember seeing this film with Sabrina. She made me watch it. I was like, why are you making me watch this film? And she did. And I was just like, the whole time, I was like, oh, I had an unnatural, icky feeling in my body after watching this film, man.
Yeah, you need a shower after watching this.
Yeah, you really, really do. But let's start off with the plot first off, Guy. What is going on in this film?
Ostensibly, what it is you're following these teens, these kids who are just out doing a trip going back home, and they stop into this little hick town, and they first off try to find out what's just as weird novelties, because when you're going through these weird little podunk towns and you see these little novelty stores, a lot of us want to stop and take a look around and just just weird oddities. Let's see what it is. Well, they go into this one, which is Captain Spaulding's House of Intrigue and Fried Chicken.
So they go,
all that entails.
So they go in there, and what happens after that, man?
They get directions. Captain Spaulding gives them directions recounting a story of a murder tree, a Satanist who started a cult, and they were found and captured, and he was hung, and they were curious about where this tree is. And he gives them directions, and they head out to see where this tree is, and their car breaks down, gets stuck in the mud and the rain. A tow truck comes by to pick them up, and they go to this house, and you meet Baby Doll, which is Sherry Moon Zombie, and the rest of the happy clan of misfits. The easiest way to put it is, think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, only incestuous almost.
I was getting ready to ask that. Do you think this is Rob Zombie's kind of homage to Texas Chainsaw?
I think they're the sequence in the middle where they're trying to, feed them a dinner thing. I think because Rob Zombie claims to be a lover of classic horror, I really believe he took the time and effort to try to recreate the uncomfortable feeling of the dinner scene from Texas Chainsaw.
Sure.
And also kind of give it his own little flair.
Mm-hmm.
But you also got to remember, this is when Rob Zombie was still only a music video director. This was his first film. He hadn't really perfected his
own style.
His own style yet.
Right.
He did a better version of these characters when he did the sequel, The Devil's Rejects.
I agree.
But you can tell that the seeds are there for what is ultimately his vision of things as he plays them out.
Yeah. So when you saw this film, I'm assuming you saw it in theaters, right?
I saw it in theaters. I've seen it several times since.
Does it still, do you still like it? Do you still enjoy it?
I enjoy it for more of the same reason the kids visited Captain Spaulding's. It's a weird oddity.
Yeah.
It's not easily identifiable, but at the same time, watching it, you're like, I can see where they were going, and I can see where the ideas were.
Mm-hmm.
Some are not executed very well, but first-time director, you can give it a little
leeway,
bit of a pass, but then also seeing that there are the seeds of what would become known as Rob Zombie's style in film.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's kind of like watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay, and that was Tim Burton's first film,
exactly.
Right?
if you think of Tim Burton now, that is nowhere near what you would think for a Tim Burton film.
Sure.
But you can see the ideas. You can see through certain sequences where the germs are starting to be cultivated and the seeds planted to what would eventually become the Tim Burton style.
Yeah.
So you can see it. And for a lot of people who love cinema and just films, seeing these early films, even though they're big budget films, they're big films that get a lot of play. Knowing that they're their firsts gives it kind of a weird intimacy.
Sure.
That you want to be in on the fact that it was their first and it is something special.
Yeah. This was the first movie to me that that introduced me to veteran actor Sid Haig. I
love Sid Haig.
He's been around for a long time, B-movie actor, done a lot of horror and stuff, but this was the first movie that introduced him for me anyway. Mm-hmm. What do you think of Sid?
I love Sid. To me, there is nobody better as far as a character actor. If you just want that grizzly old man, but at the same time that maniacal edge of just weird, creepy uncle.
Yeah.
Sid Haig is your man. He's perfect at it, especially playing Captain Spaulding, because you get that really weird, creepy uncle vibe, and he wears clown makeup.
Yeah.
And it's just and he gives you that creepy vibe, and at the end, he hands you a bag of chicken. It's the weirdest combination, but
yes, sir.
I can honestly not think of another character actor who could take such a ludicrous, diametrically opposed thing as, I'm going to scare you, here's some chicken, and actually make it work, and up until the twist at the end, make it charming.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of. And speaking as an actor, to walk a line like that and to make something that could easily go to a very disgusting, very creepy, and almost flesh-crawling route, to make it charming where you're like, oh, well, ain't that quaint? That takes a skill that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. If someone is new to the horror regime, they're wanting to get into it, is this one that they should pick up and watch?
Depends on your level of wanting to get into horror. There are other films. It really depends on if you want to get into it and actually have, true spine-tingling horror, or that weird, creepy, uncomfortable horror, or this is just kind of gross horror, and all the different subgenres. It really depends. If you're looking for a kind of silly little horror film that's got some graphic elements of gore, but not overly taxing, just some interesting ideas, then yeah, this is perfectly serviceable for what you want. If you're really wanting to get into a true horror, I would say no, because this will not give you what you want. This is a good dampening of your toe if you're just wanting, but okay.
Yeah.
Then this would be a good film for you.
All right. The movie is called, excuse me. You want to take care of the movie title?
The movie's called House of a Thousand Corpses, and you can actually find it on Netflix and video streaming services, as well as your local video store.
That's Guy. He's going to take over the show. I'm going to go sit down and drink a cup of tea. We've got more reviews coming your way next, and we'll talk about Guy's latest project coming your way right here on the Screen Team.